Guys, if this situation happens, the Dallas Mavericks, as you know them, are done.
As he hobbles towards the bench, that clearly was messing with him.
Yeah, he wanted no part of shooting that basketball. You could see he's been grabbing it throughout the night, but this time he was so far behind the play and he actually looked over to the bench to signal he needed.
Dallas Mavericks just got eliminated by the Memphis Grizzlies from playoffs contention in the play-in game, and Nico Harrison looked absolutely terrified of what's to come for the Dallas Mavericks as Anthony Davis gave a valiant effort, hobbling the entire time. And they kept panning to Nico Harrison every single time Anthony Davis was hobbling on and off the court. He gave a valiant effort. 40 points for Anthony Davis, tried to keep Dallas in it. Klay Thompson kind of was a no-show. And Dallas fell apart. The Dallas Mavericks are headed into the off-season. Only the 10th time in NBA history that a team that went to the NBA Finals didn't even make the playoffs the season after. So what's next? What is this situation that could literally make the Mavericks irrelevant for years to come?
Kyrie, I think Luka said after the game, relationship y'all have is just deeper than basketball.
For sure.
I was just curious, in the time y'all spent together, why do you think it was just a strong relationship between y'all? How'd y'all just develop that?
I mean, because we had a lot of fun, bro. We went to Madrid. We started preseason in Abu Dhabi, which helped us out a lot, man. When you're on the road and you get to know someone and their family and you're introducing everybody to your friends, and Madrid was very special because that's where he played, and I got a chance to meet some of his friends and his support system out there, and I think that just carried over into the season. And he was in just great spirits coming into the last season, and it was easy to compliment him while he's having an MVP season, MVP caliber season. I feel like he, if not deserved MVP, he finished second, but at the same time he carried us a lot of the way where I was injured or hurt. And, he carried the brunt of responsibility. So I think for me, it was respect there before we played together. But then playing with him, he's just, an innocent kid at the same time, just ultra talented. Whole world's in front of him. You want to protect people like that, too, because I feel like sometimes people come at him crazy, which is unnecessary, and he responds in his own way. But he's not from America. He's not used to the degenerative culture here, at times, especially when the narrative starts spinning. So my goal was just to protect him, man. And that's why it goes deeper than basketball. Been out a few times where just our families have connected. And, this is one of those lifetime things for me. I think he feels the same way. If he doesn't, I'll put him in a headlock.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, you keep procrastinating over and over. No, do it right now. Been all day on the phone anyhow. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
Guys, Kyrie Irving has a player option this summer. And for Nico Harrison, his whole plan is for Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis to pair up, for the next 3 years, which aligns with his contract. He's with the Dallas Mavericks for the next 3 years. Nico Harrison, that is. He wants them to team up for the next 3 years and try to bring a championship. He feels like defense wins championships. And so much so that he has doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on trading Luka Doncic. And Luka had this to say about the situation.
Some pretty pointed criticisms of you on the floor, off of the floor, even about your body.
I mean, it's painful, depends how you take it. Mostly it came from Dallas, so I just didn't want to talk back. But I don't really read that much stuff, and just trying to focus on my journey.
General Manager Nico Harrison of the Dallas Mavericks, he had this closed-door, no cameras meeting with reporters. The reporter said, "You didn't believe that the team that went to the finals last year with Luka as a centerpiece could contend and continue to contend for championships." And Nico Harrison said, "I'll say this again, defense wins championships." What do you say to that?
It's just sad in the way he's talking right now. I never say anything bad about him, and I just want to move on. The fans, my ex-teammates, always keep it hard. It's time for me to move on from that.
Have you spoken to Nico Harrison since you left Dallas?
No.
When you have a player that, can clap back and be petty after this situation didn't work out the way Nico Harrison wanted it to work out. And all Luka said was, it's a sad situation. Man, that's how bad the Dallas Mavericks are right now. But yeah, so getting back to Kyrie Irving, if Kyrie Irving doesn't get the 5-year, $313 million contract that, he deserves from the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks will probably try to extend him for another 2 or 3 years. And if Kyrie Irving decides to move on from that and use his player option to opt out and go somewhere else, they're done. There's nothing left. Anthony Davis is not saving the day. He is already hobbled as it is. All of the players that are on the team are mostly role players that were built around Luka and Kyrie to try to win a championship. And if you don't have Kyrie pairing up with Anthony Davis, who knows if we're going to see him on the court for a majority of the season or even the playoffs. But if you don't have Kyrie Irving, it's over. The entire situation it's done. Nico Harrison's vision, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. So everything hinges on Kyrie Irving re-signing. They probably are going to want him to sign a 2-year, 3-year extension, but he's going to want that 5-year, $313 million extension from them. And if that's not the case, he might decide to walk. And if he does, man, Nico Harrison, I can't think of any other GM who has ruined a team with one swift move in NBA history. You had a generational player that fell into your lap with Luca Doncic in 2018. And 7 years into his career, he is generational. He is every bit of what was advertised. And he will go down as one of the greatest players to ever play this game. That's how generational Luka is. And you decide to trade him, 25-year-old Luka Doncic, trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers, same conference. It's just mind-boggling. But again, he doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on this. So let's see how it plays out. You better hope Kyrie Irving resigns. By the way, guys, I got another video coming where I will break down the playoffs matchup. So keep a lookout for that. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Peace.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, you keep procrastinating over and over. No, do it right now. Been all day on the phone anyhow. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.